Fnatic's turn to ban. Phoenix's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Fnatic's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Phoenix's turn to pick.
Vengeful spirit.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
Invoker.
Fnatic's turn to pick. Phoenix's turn to pick.
We are back again. Game number 3 here in this best of 5. The Epicenter Southeast Asian qualifiers are kicking it off. Grand final style. Fnatic against MVP Phoenix. And after 2 losses in a row, MVP, game number 1, it was kind of theirs to lose. Stole it away from them. Game number 2, Fnatic pretty much ran away with it after the 15-20 minute mark. But this is, yet again, a new draft, a new game. And I can welcome in my co-caster, Heen. MVP get their PL up against the Invoker.
Yeah, I think it's no secret by now that when the opponent has an Invoker, they often go to PL as their response, first response to their Invoker. What's interesting is that they banned the Chen and Fnatic chose to not ban the Bounty Hunter, which they've been doing all game. So I think they were thinking about some trade where they suspected MVP might take Invoker and they take the Bounty Hunter plus something. For sure they didn't want to give both the Bounty Hunter and Invoker, and it turns out Fnatic are able to get both. I mean, having been in these similar spots, these games, the 2 games were kind of a heartbreak for MVP, because the first game they were like 90% like to the finish line in terms of winning it, and the second game much less so, but still they were in a very dominant position in the early mid game, and it's easier said than done, but they have to basically reset and think about this as a fresh best of 5, I guess, since they have to win the next 3 to come out on top over Fnatic.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see,
One more.
5
more win.
seconds remaining.
So Darkseer means
Reserve
Phoenix have
time.
to be somewhat careful about which heroes they pick for MP, assuming this is a QO mid PL.
Earthshaker there.
Fnatic's turn to pick.
Is that going to be a Dubu Earthshaker or a Febby one? Something that we see in the offlane all too often anymore.
Actually, I'm not sure how they decide the roles between Febby and Dubu. Sometimes it looks like Febby can play this hero because it's more flashy and it probably does more with gold, but plays the opposite. And Dubu has a history of playing a lot of Earthshaker, and he might play the Earthshaker just because Febby seems to... He doesn't dislike Vengeful, oddly.
Fnatic and Invoker Bounty Darks here. They can run that dual offlane if they want to with a Bounty DS. Sven's going to be their one role, so they still need that hard 5. Lion's still in the pool, probably the go-to hero for anybody in this draft. So I wouldn't be surprised to see MVP ban out the Lion in their final ban. Phoenix Vengeful, Phantom Lancer and Earthshaker. They did ban out the Ember Spirit and the Spectre. PL has a little bit of an easier time come mid-game. What do they need? They need to bolster these lanes, like you said. They need to make sure that the Darkseer doesn't just run over their safe lane and try and consolidate that. You know, Gyrocopter, something along those lines. Early game potential carry that can definitely get involved a little bit faster than some of the others. Worry about how quickly this Sven can farm, and if you do play early game and start losing skirmishes, Sven can just race ahead of you in net worth.
And not to mention the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter is going to make these lanes tricky. You already have to deal with the fact that there's a Darkseer, so you don't want to have a lane that is gives Darkseer too much freedom. And then you probably want a hero dedicated to canceling out the roaming effects of Bounty Hunter at mid. And so far, the Venge and Earthshaker are okay, but not really ideal, because they can't men fight the Bounty Hunter. It's going to be a Beastmaster, solid pickup for Phoenix, leaving their last core open.
So, Fnatic aim to like ban out the Gyrocopter here. Solid all-round hero.
10 seconds
What are you really scared of though in your lanes or in the game in general?
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely, I think Gyrocopter is a contender for the ban that Fnatic have, because so far PL he's good at like 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 very small fights, but in big fights not so much. He doesn't have some kind of steroid like the Ion Shelled PL that can be pretty sick. Gyrocopter or let's see, Ember's banned. Something to make.
Oh, Weaver. Oh, Leshrac.
Leshrac could have been. I think Leshrac has a hard time versus Sven and Invoker though. There's just so much burst damage.
Stormhammer into Sunstrike. Leshrac does not have a lot of HP to stuff around with. Well, MVP. I think Lion is probably the best shout there, just to get rid of that from the pool. So Fnatic would have kind of thought this through and get out another support to pick up. Looking at Crystal Maiden is another kind of hard 5 that we could definitely see here out from them. Also heroes, you know, like the Bane Elemental wouldn't be too bad. But you do have to consider this Beastmaster in the offlane against the Sven. You cannot really leave him 1v1. You do need someone to zone out and really secure your safe lane farm.
10 seconds remaining.
How about Disruptor, actually?
Yeah, I could see Disruptor working. It's not the best versus PL because you can just doppelganger out of the glimpse. One of the few heroes that can do that. But it'll be pretty good against pressuring the Beastmaster. Like you said, they need a support who can not be too scared of the Beastmaster early on, as the Bounty Hunter might be busy doing things in other lanes. Witch Doctor? There
are a number of heroes out there. While MVP will need that NA hero. I mean, again, we're sort of looking at this, and there's an Outworld Devourer in the pool still. An opportunity for them. And it could be an MP Phantom Lancer towards the safe lane, with Hero still going for an OD mid, something along those lines. You have to be very, very careful about how you set up these lanes against the Bounty Hunter. I think Earthshaker is going to have a relatively rough time getting experience and gold. The fact he's going to need to be sitting behind the mid hero for a lot of the game. Sure they don't get picked off by the Bounty Invoker plus quick rotation in from someone. Disruptor is the pick for Fnatic. It really does round up their AoE combos quite nicely with a Vacuum, Static Storm, Sven with a Cleave. Invoker obviously goes without saying, he's got a ton of spells to throw into the mix.
I think a BKB...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, BKB core might be really good. The Fnatic don't really have anything that goes through BKB, and possibly Gyro, which still hasn't been banned. Something to be the center, like, what do you call it? The center of the formation for MVP Phoenix, because like PL is gonna, you know, be dodging spells here, coming in and out of fights. Like an
what about this?
Kind of anchor hero.
or you just pick something completely off the wall. You know, you go for like a Terrorblade or something like that. Pretty interesting. Lone Druid, does MP play Lone Druid
10
at all?
seconds remaining.
To my knowledge, no. But Necro, Necro. MP loves this hero, but it's not a very commonly picked hero. I have a lot of thoughts about this hero, but I have mixed feelings. So basically, the way MVP plays, they're just a very early game aggressive team, and the Reaper's Scythe can be very effective early on. Like let's say you kill a Sven, and he's supposed to respawn in 30 seconds, but instead it takes a full minute. That could be really game changing, but at the same time, Necro is a pretty fragile hero, and against Invoker, and like if he gets jumped on, then I'm worry a bit for MVP, but
10 seconds
they do have the Vengeful and the Earthshaker counter initiation, so it's
5
really
seconds remaining.
a matter of execution. And if they're on top of their game, as we saw in Dota Pit, they can have some crazy team fight.
Sure. Net again gonna be picking up that Sven. While the TP's out,
Prepare for battle.
you're saying in game number 2. Febby and DJ very early on out to try and get their observer wards placed and have vision available. Febby. Owen. On the high ground over there. So, Forev offlane Beastmaster is going to have Dubu's Vengeful Spirit. MP for now just going to go and help him out, but MP is going to be the Necro down on the safe lane with QO's Phantom Lancer. Sunstrike go. I really wish they'd add like an indicator on the map for where Sunstrike's going, because you can hear it, but trying to guess where exactly it's gone is sometimes a little bit difficult. And DJ, Bounty Hunter of course, with his brown boots up, a level 1. Dark's here, and the hard 5 Disruptor, 343. The bodyguarding mid one towards that middle lane. So they can maybe bounty runes, but you look at the lineups. MVP, they've got a very strong level 1 fighting lineup here. They do have to contend with potentially triple Ion Shell from Ohio.
Yeah, they have a nice word from Fnatic to know which rune that MVP are going for, and it looks like they want to contest. They want to put multiple Ion Shells on the this Bounty Owner Ion Shell combo is quite nasty. But MVP do have a Dust on their Shaker, so they could put. Yeah, Q might ping this out. He was like, hey, there's a Dark.
But out the double Ion Shell, Sunstrike is going to land on the QO's head as well, and QO is coming very low. The double Ion Shell is going to try and kill him off, and QO, he doesn't level anything up, he's going to die. Doesn't even get that bounty rune.
Oh my god,
Phantom
MP.
Drops.
The Invis Bounty Hunter, oh my god, this is so dirty.
4
He
seconds,
is dead.
3 seconds, he's gone. Both core heroes here, mid and safe lane, die to this Ion Shell combination from Fnatic. And that's a disastrous start already for MVP, as that's a 400 gold swing. 300 gold goes the way of the bounty, before the creeps even really spawn.
I feel like this happens way too often with MVP. They simply... Sometimes it goes in their favor, but there's just happens to be a lot of fights at level 1, and I'm gonna lean towards MVP losing out on a lot of these level 1 fights. Because they'd rather take a fight than give the bounty rune uncontested.
Forev starts things off with his Iron Talon. He's up to level 2.5 already. And Net needs the help of 343 in this lane to really try and force Forev back.
Oh,
It's not
MP.
that easy. P in trouble down the bottom lane again. Yes, he is. DJ, but he will die to the tower. They're putting so much pressure onto this Necrophos that he's, got null task and 200 gold. He's going to have to spend some of that money on a TB scroll to get back to lane. 7 seconds on the cooldown of it. This is so much time wasted and burnt through by Fnatic.
They need sentries, like Dubu needs to plant the sentry in the lane ASAP. He's still held on to a sentry. He's choosing between whether he wants it to cover the pulls or the lane for Necro. I think Necro already died 2 times before the 2-minute mark, so they need to stabilize ASAP. And over at top, Beastmaster.
Don't think he knows about DJ being around with the Shadow Walk through as well. The damage output, Thunderstrike on top of his head, and Forev, 1 more hit is needed here because he's healing up through the tango. It's 2 more hits now, and DJ, he's not going to be able to commit for that one. Realizes that Forev is a little bit too fast on his feet. Beastmaster will get himself back while middle lane there's a Lance in. Oh no, 20 mana needed, and mid one should be okay to turn around and battle up against Kiro's Phantom Lancer. I think Febby kind of thought that the Lancer had another spell to throw. Going his way. Well, there's a regen rune up at top, but just take a look at that bounty sitting on top of it. Kiro wants it. Mid one might be happy to go and take it himself. It's going to be the bounty that picks it up and itself across the lane. While down at bottom lane, Dubu is actually expending a lot of his mana pool here to deal with Ohio. Drag the lane back to his tier 1. So this is going to be his level 4.5 already.
Yeah, this lane is still not going too well for MVP. The problem right now is that I think the bounty hunter is having too much impact. Like the bottom lane is kind of scared at the same time that they can't just imagine that it's a 2-on-1. Because look at this bounty hunter, he's gonna come. Luckily they do have the sentry ready, so Dubu is able to get out.
Oh, there we go. Both of them.
Very nice.
Sentries. But yeah, it's the 2v2 at bottom lane that's scary. Forev has left the top lane and is now full-time jungling. Phantom Lancer is left in the 1v1 against the Invoker. And with this lane, you know, PL does decently against the Invoker, but it's not just the 1v1. It's the fact that QO is difficult to gank, and the fact they can, at the flick of a switch, turn the pressure around onto the Invoker, but without support rotating in, without the availability of Dubu or Febby to really help QO out here. Even Forev is trying to get into the thick of things towards their mid lane. QO should be able to get the 4-minute rune up at the top. Arcane rune, not too shabby.
It's it borders regen, in some cases better than the regen. The bounty hunter, I think a lot of the early game we just have to focus on the rotations from DJ. So moving over to mid, I don't think this will lead too much. They don't have the wave and the best position for bounty hunter. Like, yeah, ideally he wants the radiant creeps to be on the dire hill. How is bottom doing? Have they stabilized somewhat, or?
A little bit. I mean, MP's burnt through a lot with his regen, and with 2 deaths to his name, it's not the easiest. He's having difficulties last hitting on the tower as well, and now DJ scouted out by the Radiant Sentry there. The thing is, MP and Dubu, they've got to spend a lot of their time under this tower. It's both safety, but it's also kind of annoying as well when there's iron shells burning through your HP and you're losing HP on the tower. Oh, a nice little pull across there is going to deny some experience, and almost a full wave away. DJ will now realize the sentry ward, he's stunned up, and with that death pulse chasing him down, is that going to be enough damage?
Oh, he has stick. He's
200 HP. Yeah, the stick was needed though.
If Heavy gonna get sentries, this is the most annoying thing about playing against bounty hunter. You simply are. You can't even get boots because with the start they had, they lost both their cores. Slow start for PL and QO. He might still die to the bounty hunter. Yep.
Yeah. No,
what? What?
Oh well.
Oh man.
And the
Sunstrike misses.
Correctly. In mid one realized there's no bottle on QO, there's no mana left for a doppelganger, and he just went for that one, even with Febby's fissured there. Oh, they had the kill secured. Dubu.
QO?
Is he dying to Forge Spirits? Very far is available, and the Forge Spirit should die to the tower, and he's going to re-bottle himself back up. Almost full after this bounty rune anyway.
Over at top though, Beastmaster getting glimpsed.
You're right, the God Strength is there, but the roar is good from Forest back up to
nice.
and DJ doesn't get the hit in to slow down the Beastmaster. Little errors from Fnatic, allowing MVP a little leeway here in these lanes. Mid one.
Yeah.
Got a cold snap, but this should be the death of him. Finally MVP kill off the Invoker at mid, but it's left the Necro into this 1v1 against Ohio, and it's allowing this God Strength from Net, which is just worn off, to do some decent structural damage to the tier 1 up at top.
I think MVP are slowly stabilizing the lanes. Obviously the Necro and PL dying, worst case scenario for MVP, but MP's getting some levels, which is going to help with the sustain versus the Iron Shell spam, and QO getting that kill. Oh, Forev. Oh, Forev, yeah, he after the Sunstrike.
He's dusted. Forever is chasing this one down. DJ
He doesn't have access though.
gonna shadow walk himself away, and now Net's coming in with a war cry and maybe a stun. There's the dust back on to DJ. Febby's looking for the trigger. He's gonna give the kill across to Forever though with a double boars. It's so scrappy. Oh, so scrappy, but we just saw Ohio take, you know, like a 3-stack of large camp creeps. He's so farmed. He's actually so farmed. 3,000 net worth, he's almost on par with the Sven at this point. Dropplane Darkseer doing this well. Very good start regardless for Fnatic, but you're still needing this mid 1 minus for the Invoker. MP shut him down any further after the initial engagements, while Roar is back up for Forever.
One might be in some trouble if he goes out further. Here we go, Fissure into Roar, easy kill.
Like it was perfectly set up and perfectly simple for MVP. Can they turn this into a tier 1 though? Certainly have the best pushing power, and Kuro's gone back down towards bottom lane, or bottom rune spot at the very least, to take up that illusion rune. Bottom lane, there was a little bit of a skirmish. Wall was dropped, and MP dropped to 200 HP. Fnatic, again, missing out on another kill.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
MP has to be really careful because no more sentries. That means if he gets greedy and tries to go for the creeps, actually he might get dove here. He has TP, but yeah, he's wait for the Earthshaker.
Ohio and DJ, they know where he is now. The Reaper Scythe, if he wants to turn around on this one and maybe look for Ohio. He's just killed off by the Shuriken though. That level 3 Shuriken more than enough, and now Febby has no mana left for a Fissure. He's going to try and enchant Totem back into the Darkseer, but Ohio's sprinting himself back away, but the range creep blocks his retreat and he cannot get out of the trees. Febby will pick up the kill, and with 1300 gold in the bank, that's not the worst for MVP, even if they do lose their Necro.
No, definitely not. I think MVP are sort of lucky that they're catching a break this game. It could have been so bad, but like the mid where DJ kind of fed himself instead of getting the last hit on Kyo, and then you know Ohio gets stuck in the trees there. I didn't see how they pushed the mid tier 1. I'm surprised that they were able to do so with the PL. That's gonna make things a lot easier for MVP going into the mid game.
DJ's not yet level 6, even with the great start he's had. Bounty Hunter's not getting into his track just yet.
Oh, nice.
Strike Shuriken combination. Fnatic pair up perfectly. Forever, the good Fissure from Febby will actually trap them and stop the advance, but Forever needs to go and buy a TP scroll. Roll back on a DJ. The double dust is down to Bounty Hunter, but Ohio vacuum. No, and doesn't throw it out just yet. The Echo Slam from Febby will secure the kill and stop this aggression from Fnatic, but Forever attempts the sneaky TP in the trees. So finally the Darkseer throws out the level 1 back.
I guess Space created. They did get the Bounty Hunter, which he had like pretty good levels. Level 5 at 10 minutes isn't too bad. And they force a rotation from Sven. That in itself is worth something. But at the same time, because there are so many heroes bottom now, Necro is finding himself in an awkward position. Are they... Yeah, they want to defend this tower, because if they lose this tower, then Necro, like that other game where, the first game where Net's tower got pushed so early, mid 1.
But these double forge spreads, they're making Super's life a living hell, and with a Stormhammer through, MP has walked into the double forge, but yet Fnatic to signal they want to continue this fight, and Ohio will TP himself out. The Reaper Scythe. Oh my god! The animation was started, but MP barely out of range for that scythe onto the Darkseer. Well, Bounty Hunter gets his level 6 up at top lane.
Ohio is gonna have a mech pretty soon, yeah. He just needs the 900 recipe. Not the fastest mech, but pretty damn good, nonetheless.
Arcane's and Soul Ring. 1, 1, and 5 with 52 last hits. He's now dropped 4th in the net worth as Phantom Lancer and Necro are starting to, you know, scramble themselves back up there. Kuro, 1,000 gold in the bank. Is this a game where you still think about the boots of travel as a diffuser play, or do you consider Preds with the amount of early game fighting that's happening?
Because it's Kyo, he's probably gonna just go boots of travel. He really believes in the boots of travel diffusal hard build, and Forever is he's so far out, holy crap. He might have suspected this, and he just wants to put so much pressure on the tower, but that's a track kill though. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, 4-man rotation, but they all benefit from the tracks. Worth it? I don't think so.
4-man track. That's the Midas for the Invoker done. 12 minutes in, it's not the most amazing timing here. 300 gold from that little kill on the Beastmaster. 3 nearly has his arcane boots as well. And then you're looking at this bounty hunter with arcanes and drums nearly completed up. Not going for the mech. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. The Darkseer's going for mech, of course he's not. DJ's just going to be able to try and pad out these stats as much as he possibly can, while that's a decent item pick up there from the Necro, a Blink Dagger.
And they're going to probably make a smoke play here.
Behind their tier 1 at mid.
Radiant's top tower
I
is
love to
under
do
attack.
this. Leaves them open to move to any of the side lanes, or even just catch Ohio, but it looks like the Darkseer realizes something is fishy. No one's farming top or bot or defending towers.
Invoker pinged it exactly. I think the aura gave it away, possibly. I'm not sure if there were radiant creeps there. If you click on the creeps, you might have seen the Venge aura or the Beastmaster aura. The way Invoker pinged mid at the exact same spot at the exact right time was... Oh, 3-4-3.
Gets back into the trees though. The wave of terror will give the vision across the raw. No, not thrown out just yet. South Storm with the forever punning and get his ultimate down. Sounds like he's going to land onto nobody. But it's the Reaper side onto Ohio that matters the most. With Net looking forward to the kill. Onto forever. The God strength is there and the Shuriken will bounce. The Net needs to get this stun. The War Cry allows them to chase a little bit further forward, and this Earthshaker illusion from the Wall of Replica trying to cancel out a blink or something, but a Zubu that's caught. A Net, oh, now he's stunned up through Fisher and Magic Missile on the back end. QO, down to the low ground, the Epic Blast kills him off. Mid one finds the pick, and Fnatic only lose their Darkseer, catching 3 of the MVP heroes, and MP like he's going to be the 4th. No chance of escape. Blink Dagger on cooldown, damage output good enough. Southern Strike will secure. The question is, can Febby retreat? Doesn't look like he can. The short range glimpse back into danger. And this is the zone of death. As the triple kill goes to mid one, up to 6, 2, and 5.
This is really troublesome. Those were all track kills. If minus the PL maybe. Yeah, PL didn't die with track on, but
there were 6
forever using
that. There were 6 tracks mid one. Oh, the wild axe and the stuns. They'll take his unstoppable streak, and Forever will get a nice chunk of change there for that one. Overstayed their welcome just a little bit too much.
Yeah, MVP all TPing to the bottom. Mid one got the tower, which is nice, I guess, before he died. They're constantly running at each other, but I think MVP have to be careful that, I mean, Bounty Hunter is one of their most picked heroes. If when they get the chance to, they have to understand that even trades, or even slightly less than even trades, are not all that favorable. Net gonna run into QO.
Glimpse back that I'm looking at here onto Forever. Again, the Beastmaster's gonna die another time. By another day. Boot. Brand Boots and Dust, not much to his name. 1400 net worth. The Earthshaker, similar story, but Febby at least has arcanes and 1,000 gold saved up. So his Blink Dagger, slowly but surely, he's scraping away and getting this gold income.
Yeah, he's gonna go for a mech, it seems. Pretty good item because Necro, as we saw from the right clicks on him by mid one, as we speak, Febby.
Oh, mid one's actually one big jump on MP. Fuel step is there, and the ice falls down. The mid one still can get Reaper Sight here until the track comes through from MP, from DJ. From Febby, we'll try and give them the reveal they require. Shuriken to cancel the TP or the Blink Dagger out, and MP, he sure is stuck. But where's the rest of Fnatic's team? He just keeps throwing out tracks, and DJ is in the vision, but there's no damage. Fnatic, he's left to his own devices just to die there.
Kind of a weird exchange. I think DJ was just kind of toying with MP and Febby. He almost survived too, because Beastmaster, Roar, and the Necro ult went in at the same time. Nonetheless, this is kind of funny because the kills are being modified by the track and Reaper's nice dodge from QO.
In trouble though, without doppelganger.
Yeah.
Net is just absolutely beast moding. Styling on this hero Phantom Lancer. Febby is now the one that's actually spotted out, and with the surge forward, mid one, he's got plenty of movement speed behind him, and they've got the vision for the glimpse back as well. Febby's trapped in Static Storm, and he cannot do a damn thing. They've bought some time for Forever and MP to push the tier 2 up a top lane. Fnatic just getting these kills. Fortunately though for MVP, neither of those were tracked.
Bounty Hunter might be the best hero to Reaper scythe right now.
Sure that a limited value is gained by Fnatic here, but with a double force and alacrity, Sven, how much damage are you doing? Oh yeah, there we go, 350 or close to it. The Pops has got strengthened, slammed through the big man in the pit. No way really that MVP can get here in time. There's no mana on Forever for the Raw. The Hawk will give them vision across into the Roche area. This is what 343 is doing, just patrolling outside of the pit, making sure that there's no initiation. Being ready with the glimpse back.
Yeah, look at all these wards that DJ was able to place. MVP, every time they want to leave base, all 3 lanes are being watched, so Fnatic are going to be pretty ready for this. This is like the MVP style kind of ward, is like as forward as possible, like deep into the enemy base.
And if they're farming, you see them if they're smoking, you see them.
One thing I'm concerned is that I'm not sure if Peel can actually have a good game this game, because he didn't have a good start. He doesn't have like any combat items.
Dead again. The Sunstrike will not secure this kill. He even turns back for the Raw. It looked like there for a second he could escape, but the smoke up from the rest of MVP. They want to try and catch mid one.
Here comes Dubu.
Starts things off. Dubu will swap him back in. Stun the Echo Stun as well with the Yule.
Oh no!
Yeah, mid one. Can he escape from this one? He's gonna have to go swing the through with that Echo Stun. Comes through from MP, and the TPs will complete. Good movement there from MVP. 70 seconds on the sideline for this Invoker. He was close to getting away from that one.
I suppose that's a much better trade. They kill the Invoker with Reaper Scythe, and that could have failed though. I think they have to be more on top of their game. The Reaper Scythe should have come out earlier to prevent like the Yules, and what if like the Disruptor cast that the Static Storm just 2 seconds before.
The Blink Daggers here. This Earthshaker. Saving grace for MVP as we take a look. Fnatic are about 10,000 net worth. The lead. Koreans. Sorry for the experience. MP's mech and blink, it's been working out decently so far. The question is, can they face off in a 5v5 fight against Fnatic?
It's hard to say. With the Blink Dagger and Earthshaker, they might be able to.
Comes down to vision, tell and knowledge. Oh, Kiro. Ganger's got a glimpse, so he still sticks around on this bottom lane. Giving all of this across the Fnatic. Oh no, Diffusal Blade over on QO is there. Distance away from that one, and DJ clears through the Hawk.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think PL can do any damage right now. He's just being a nuisance. He provides vision maybe and spams lances. He needs to get the Diffusal, but even after he gets Diffusal, he might have some problems against the Cleave from Sven and Invoker. He's not too farmed. Mid one chose to go for the Boost of Travel before like an Aghanim Scepter or a Blink Dagger. So for the time being, luckily for MVP, it's not like an Invoker has everything ready to go. Max level Invoke forever.
Very me, and not again. They're gonna try and save it with the Fisher on the swap back, but look at that, back into Static Storm, and Dubu's caught. Forever will drop behind as well with the wall down. Fnatic still on the hunt and chasing down QO. Glimpse, Doppelganger, dodges it out, and gets himself safely behind the tier 2. But this is still Fnatic. On the rampage and running through with Aegis still up for a minute and a half. He can take down this tier 2 with impunity.
Looking pretty tough. I think MVP just concede this. Even this Echo is not going to be able to team wipe Fnatic. No.
God strength is popped by Net. Phantom Lancer actually definitely blasted, but he goes for the wrong illusion. Net gets tricked there by QO.
Oh, they still have glimpse. It looks like they don't have vision though.
Link to Echo for Febby. I think the ping there from DJ is like, careful with the creep wave, lads. Don't get caught by that big Echo slam.
That was actually so close because Kyo was acting with his illusion, thinking it got tracked right. if they manage to find the real QO, losing the PL under your tier 2, that might have prompted Fnatic to go further.
Yeah, PL didn't have buybacks then, I don't think.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Plate's nearly done here, but...
Oh, they found nice Reaper Scythe. 76 sag.
Big stuff. So now Fnatic, they don't have kind of boost of gold income from the track kills, the vision that it gives on those individual heroes. Well, it's a sneaky little bounty hunter running himself around and just knowing exactly where MVP are. For now, it looks like Fnatic just going to be content in split pushing and trying to get as much farm out of this map as they can. Ohio bot. bo5 has picked himself up a dagger. It's one of the first times in a while that I've not seen Necro 3 being picked up by a Beastmaster as a primary item.
Yeah, I think he just had a way too rough of a game. It would have been really nice against the bounty hunter, and just his item synergizes way too well with Beastmaster to not go it. But bo5, he's a usually pretty greedy player. He likes going strong items, but for him to make this decision speaks volumes about how tough this game was from his point of view.
Looking for someone up at top, maybe trying to bait MP. Necro is alone, but that Aghanim Scepter for MP is getting closer and closer. An item that could turn the tide of things. QO has already used his doppelganger. Oh, they get duped again. Sneaky little bastard, this Phantom Lancer is just running Fnatic for a loop. They've got no idea what's going on inside QO's head. On the other hand, will the Dominator stand in Yasha? BKB probably going to be his next item of choice, and that's a big issue for QO, because you look at, oh, mid lane, vacuum, Ohio, still trapping Fisher, and the damage up is good, but oh, Meteor down from mid one, Ohio's perched up and finally killed off. The big problem here with QO is like Diffuser Blade is picked up, but it's going to be pretty close to the timing of the BKB of the Sven.
Yeah, the BKB on Sven though, the good thing for MVP is it has to be combined with Roche to be fully useful, I think, because they want to ideally go high ground, you know, hit the tower with a Aegis Sven, and then when the fight breaks loose, then he goes BKB. But without the Aegis, he's still very vulnerable. Like, they have the Beastmaster Roar to lock him down during BKB, and just kite him around for 10 seconds, and then it's Sven as usual.
Now, ads, they're looking for the Lotus Orb. MVP is just mirroring everything that Fnatic are doing. Mid one is pushing bot lane, they deal with that, having bo5 sit down there, and like you've been saying, MVP loves sitting in enemy jungle, knowing pretty much that they're going to have a better time farming and just being safe up there for the meantime. They seem like they're the ones that are not scrambling, but they're definitely itching to go and find a pick-off, find a fight, try and make sure that MVP have no chance in this game. The Sven having 500 gold, that BKB pickup, maybe the Aghanims on Invoker. It feels like it's much more an item timing decision here from Fnatic rather than a we're ahead, it feels good to go and fight, we can probably crush them kind of timing. They might just still smoke up between the four of them.
Yeah, speaking of items, Febby picked up the gem, but sadly he missed the two wards that are so deep into the Radiant base. He should be able to find them with time. And it looks like TJ's gonna go for the Lotus Orb to cancel out, not cancel out, but he can put it on the Sven, and Beastmaster will probably still roar through it, because when the Sven turns on BKB, you need someone to control him.
Yeah, return that roar. Finally, Net has the BKB. I'm guessing they not have a smoke on them. They do. 343 has a gem of his own and a smoke up on him. Sick. This is for mass time almost. One. Blink himself out. Cross onto a creep. You have vision though on both of these lanes, like you're saying, neither of them dewarded out by MVP. And bo5 might be the casualty of war here. His boar might be able to scout them out before they enter the jungle, but it's not going to. And in fact, Fnatic, they run further across towards the east side of the jungle. But this
bo5
away. bo5. There he is.
bo5?
Caught, he's in the trees, but he's dead. Cannot escape.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Febby doesn't have a TP.
He
Doesn't have a TP.
Wait, what happened there? He was TPing before and it looks like he blinked to try and save Forev. Gonna be okay hiding in the trees. Level 2 Echo Slam is available for him. Roshan alive. Seconds. Fnatic just need to bide their time and get the big man, get the Aegis.
A gift from the
Yeah, meanwhile, all MVP can do is to split push for the time being. But for Febby is like super scared right now. He saw the ward, but isn't even choosing to deward it. He doesn't see majority of Fnatic's lineup. He might go back for it later.
And he can solo die to Invoker. He doesn't want to be in that kind of scenario. There's one. Sure that this pressure is continually applied down on bottom lane while the rest of them. Oh, it's good spread here from Fnatic, not allowing any of these lanes to reach their tier 3s, because that's where Phantom Lancer can start to do some serious damage. He's split push away, but it's actually just going to be MP's Necro that's up on top. What's that picked up by the Darks here? A Hood.
Yeah, a Hood. The pipe against Necro ult can be a game changer. You can potentially use the Guardian Greaves plus the pipe, and someone who ought to die doesn't die, and that kind of takes away a lot of the point of picking Necro.
And they've got Glimmer Cape on Disruptor as well. Ets with DD and God Strength, 650 bloody damage. Through the Roshan he goes, and no contest from MVP. Again, they've just got to try and deal with these lanes being pushed across their river and into their base. So, Aegis over onto Sven. Oh, it's going to be really difficult to handle as they're spam pinging out onto MP. Sure, the Necro will back up after this creep wave and just go farm the jungle a little bit. He's also got Dubu awaiting him behind with a level 2 swap in case he gets him.
Yeah, it looks like MP's going for the BKB, which might take some time, given he has still 3k gold, 2k gold left to farm the BKB. And with the Sven having the Aegis, their likely target for the Reaper Scythe is Invoker or Darkseer, especially Darkseer, because if Darkseer survives the team fight during a high ground, him having Guardian Greaves might be really annoying. So, anyone really, if better to use it, be able to use it on anyone rather than just hold on to it and not finding a good target because you're being greedy with who you want to make dead for 100 seconds.
Still a pretty massive lead far from Fnatic. 15,000 net worth. Struggling though to try and really end this game and make sure they've got it in the bag.
MVP have to come back really fast. Fnatic, if they push in this bottom, they're walking, but they have to be ready because Sven does so much damage. If their Fnatic are able to find a position where they can surround the tower and prevent MVP from TPing in too close to the tier 3.
Level 4 wild axes just to kill off a range creep, fair enough, fair enough. Gonna be the swing across though. Oh, MP links himself back. This might still be the jump forward if you can just get vision. Necro, mid one. I think he sees him. Barely on the edge of the fog this nighttime, working wonders for MVP at this point. Position themselves around the tier 2 at the middle lane though. Febby, Link and Echo. Still waiting to see this jump in from the big old Earthshaker.
Kyo?
Bro wants to fight, there's no question about it. He wants to go
he doesn't have buyback, he's playing so on the line.
Fake out. Pretend you have buyback. Play ballsy. Oh, Aghanim Scepter for the Invoker. That's another game changer. That cooldown on Invoke now, he's going to be able to spam out multiple combos. But more importantly, without a BKB carrier on the Radiant side, usually we look at the Invokers like Double Forge Spirit, Ice Wall, Cold Snap, Meteor Deafening Blast, but now you start to cycle in the Tornado EMP. These are heroes that are quite susceptible to being caught out by that EMP mana burn.
The Invoker doesn't have too much points into Wex yet, so I suspect MVP for it. You have to be careful of Glimpse. Holy crap.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tornado is thrown out over to the side, making sure there's no one waiting up on top of this ramp like, you know, a Heavy Earthshaker, something like that. Sitting back in the tier 3 range.
They should respect the Aegis and defend at the tier 3. Just don't go anywhere near the tier 2. Maybe he's gonna fissure block this ramp. Delay the push. Dubu is sitting with Kyo just in case he gets jumped on, but here it is, the moment of truth.
Heals off the ball with a Midas. There's the God Strength though, net. Looks for the swap back into him, but Lotus Orb down. Net is not going to get jumped here by the Beastmaster or anyone for him. There's a swap, net into the Roar, and net is dropping low, but the EMP going to burn through the mana. The Roar drop now, the vacuum back as well, but net is dead. Fnatic has lost their Sven. Still they retrieve the tier 3 tower, and net to be able to BKB and blink himself away. MVP have smoked up and they're still looking for this advance, and Febby holding on to this Echo Slam for so long. They need to get something out of this. This was meant to be their shining moment to defend high ground and swing things around. Fnatic are not giving them an inch.
They want to chase Fnatic, but they're going in blind, which is why when Febby ran into this event, he blinked away. I think if he got a fissure there, that could have been so big. Imagine killing the Sven with a Necro ult at this point. Oh, QO.
What is he up to down there? Can he juke them this time? Doesn't look like he can. And QO, with no buyback for 70 seconds, he brought up a heart and a diffusal blade. Febby looks for the fissure across, but the golden gravel maw is not long enough range, and they turn back on the Dubu, the 2-man stun, but Febby, Echo Slam back and with a net, the Sven, there we go, Reaper's side takes him out, 105 seconds without him, the Necro. Not going to get touched by that one, but it's still Fnatic that own this fight. And back because he doesn't hold their place. But Dubu falls out of Foreign Beastmaster, still dropping very low and rolls back onto 3-4-3. Febby and Dubu rip to shreds on the back end of the fight. They don't even need the Sven. The Tornado will barely scrape past the Ohio. He catches Febby. Catches Febby. The Necro is the only one left standing.
It looked so good for MVP, but
they piled in so much onto the Sven that the Invoker, he's still a massive force in these team fights.
Still though, they're not really under threat of getting racks at this point, because, well, surprise, surprise, the Sven is dead for longer than anyone, even though he was the first to die. Oh, and he has BKB though. But he doesn't have the TP, which means
he still might be.
Yeah, I think he's dead regardless.
He can throw out his death pulse, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. He tries to go for the Reaper slice back onto someone, but it's QO that's keeping himself forward. And
Dubu?
DJ, there's the Magnetic Field down, QO, Doppelgangers over the field, and they are mid one. There's the Tornado EMP back onto it. He's got an Ice Ball to throw as well, with QO still chasing this one. He blink dodges the Phantom Lance, no one turns back around. The Ice Ball is down, but Ohio needs to get back in here with a Surge of Vacuum. Looking for it, there it is, it's the Stunning Storm as well. It's gonna kill traps in, the wall's dropped, and MVP, having spread up into the high ground. Then he looks for the Echo Slam, it's still cool after 30 seconds. The Fisher blocks them off, but QO still battling through. The Deadly Blast pulls the back, and the Doppelganger jumps forward. But MVP, they've lost two big heroes in quick succession, and QO might be the third. With a stun from Dubu, not going to do a damn thing. He's being chased out by Ohio in 3-4-3. Yelp onto the ramp again, and QO, mid one has no mana left, but he's got enough to rip through QO's PL, and MVP, 4 heroes gone. Earthshaker's the only one left standing, and he has to defend the base alone.
I think this is at least, well, I'm not sure about at least one set of racks. If they have buybacks, no, they don't.
No buybacks.
Okay. Then I think it's safe to say mid racks is probably going to be gone.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just needs one big echo from Febby. The blink dodge.
Nice reaction.
Get away from the Storm Hammer, but still the glimpse back into the God Strength Chemic Field. Gonna hold in the Necro thanks to that BKB. Net's Black King Bar was also forced out here in order to try and secure that kill, but like you said, exactly right, mid-racks forfeit, melee one at the very least.
Yeah, we'll just look at the discipline. They get the melee racks and they just give no chance for MVP to possibly get something out of it and trade for losing the racks.
The next push-on. Up soon. This bounty hunter. Lotus, Lincoln's, Vlad's, he has so much utility in his belt, and a fast Roshan respawn, 43 seconds. Seems pretty good for Fnatic at this point.
Still though, hope is not lost with the Necro. You can never know, because net worth doesn't really mean much. good Necro ulti can basically mean you just lose the game because you can't buy back. 1 melee racks, 37 minutes, not too bad. But the MVP have to be just more careful. That could have been completely avoided if MP wasn't kind of careless at mid. You just can't be there without the TP. If you had BKB TP, that's fine, because as we talked about during the draft, you can kind of BKB TP out of anything against what Fnatic has so far.
There's the rush down. This is Aegis and Cheese. MVP. They're defending mid lane, but an observer was scouting them out, so Fnatic know exactly what's going on towards this mid. Top lane isn't even pushing him that hard. Roshan already dead. Aegis to Sven, Cheese for the Invoker. The Lincolns of their own. Sick. Is this where they close out the game, Heen? Is this where they take the 3-0 over MVP? Because it's looking that way with a 35k net worth lead, a 25,000 experience lead. 4 of their 5 heroes are in the top 4 of net worth. 21k on the Invoker. The Sven, 20k. Darkseer, guess what? 20,000 net worth on him. They are stacked. They are pretty much slotted. MVP have room to grow. The question is, can they grow?
Well, the silver lining is that because they're behind, Necro ulti is going to be that much more valuable if they can find a pickoff. So, oh, nice,
nicely done by Febby. F got in work.
Buy some time for high ground, because they probably don't want to go high ground without Static Storm. They've been comboing it so well with the Darkseer vacuum that yeah, they're not going to risk this possibly last game of the series by going prematurely.
One, he's kidding about this. Oh, that's an illusion. That's not the real one. So his Tornado EMP is now on cooldown. Kinetic Field to give vision there over onto the Hawk. The game here is so important for both teams. MVP need the vision to try and get the blink jump in from Earthshaker, while Fnatic need the vision for these glimpses and the Sven to get the jump onto somebody. Now they make the long run around up towards top lane. It's all seen by this Radiant Observer Ward, so Fnatic not under the guise of darkness or shadow. MVP, they realize exactly what Fnatic are doing, so they'll shove out bot lane and try and equalize creep waves across the river as much as they can before the defense of the tier 3 up at top lane, because of course there's still the tier 2 to take. Doesn't last very long though.
And now they have the ult on Disruptor back, and the troubling thing for MVP is they don't have buyback on pretty much anyone. Again, this is a do or die moment for them.
So these tracks coming out, Febby, he scouted the blink forward. Tornado catching onto Dubu in the back end of things. Tier 3 is already gone, and Net still has his Aegis of the Immortal. He's still got his BKB. UO, he's thinking about jumping forward. Bevy, out blink for the Echo Slam, and he is destroyed! 2 hits have gone. The Static Storm there, the Deafening Blast of the Meteor clears up Dubu, and MP. Oh man, oh man, oh man. MVP inside their own base. Net, his mana is being diffused, but QO, he's got to realize it's an Aegis of the Immortal. The buyback from the Necro will bring him back to the Land of the Living, but these Phantom Land of Illusions, they're not doing too much. Net still has a secondary life, and with the Veil picked up by the Disruptor, what have MVP got left to give? The tank is empty. The foot hard down to the metal. But they're pushing it to the limit. QO, EMP burns through his mana, and now with the track coming through thick and fast onto Forev and MP. Fnatic, they've got MVP on the ropes.
They have to kill Net and possibly kill Net with a Necro ult, or he's just going to come back with a third life by back Blizzard Traveling.
And once again, discipline. Word of choice here for Fnatic as they take top racks, tier 3 at bot, and they bail themselves away. The refresher up now up on Ohio. I was saying they're nearly 6 slotted, but dear lord, this guy. So much money to spend. It's been a clinic. It has been an absolute clinic here.
Yeah, Fnatic is smoke right now. I think this is like one of those desperation plays where they just took a huge hit and they're trying to somehow salvage the situation. But I mean, Fnatic, they're out. What can they do? They just have to not make that mistake again.
Fnatic have been so good at spreading away from Echo Slams though. Maybe he tries, but he just doesn't have the opportunities that really he would love to have on a silver platter. They just do not allow him, and oh god, look at that, Daedalus. Daedalus for Sven. What's he gonna drop though? Keep it for the Daedalus runs out, it looks like.
I think he should swap it with the Sanjin Yasha, or okay, the Blink Dagger. I think the Blink Dagger is more important than Sanjin Yasha at this point, though.
Yeah, getting a jump onto the Necro is definitely something that can win them a team fight.
Oh, it ran out. Yeah, it ran out anyway.
It still picks, hell, oh, it was an accident. I was confused then, like, why would you take the helm over the Blink? But it was just the courier being a little, shit.
Oh boy.
Does that to me. I want a certain item out of it and I put it in the right
yeah,
slot.
MVP don't even have glyphs, so unless they want to somehow try to make a comeback versus Mega Creeps, they just have to go in.
Oh, God's strength is there. Dubru swaps him back into the raw. Net, of course, does not have his agents, but with a Lincoln Spear down, that's off, where's the vacuum? They're looking for the cleave through and a kill the defensive through, but it's not going to be enough just yet. QO, Echo Slam from Bebby, doesn't do a freaking thing. As Fnatic are just cleaning up house. Doppelganger back out from QO, and Net is dropping low, but mid one, he's got this Invoker going through. Onto the racks back again, the Mega Creep's going to be here soon. The double wall is a nice little X-Monster spot. But the Tornado back onto QO and MP. QO, the poor little Phantom Lancer, Doppelganger's back. He's still low on the HP. The Sunstrike hits an illusion, but this PL, not long for this world. MP taken out of the game. A 5 dead. The buyback from QO is available, but GG is called. Fnatic win this best of 5. 3-0 against MVP and get themselves that secured spot, qualifying for the Epicenter LAN in Moscow.
Oh, what a performance by Fnatic. I think the third game was definitely just surgical from Fnatic, and I could see, knowing these guys personally, when you start off a series, best of 5, down 0-2, it's hard to play your best game. And there were just so many mistakes from MVP, like, obviously the other games they lost, they had mistakes, but they were less